What up, chat? How we doing? Lights are a little bright, aren't they? I don't know if that actually like fixed anything. Oh shit. I didn't change any of my stuff. There we go. Alrighty, chat. What is up? How we doing? Let's start the dailies. Dude, it's been so long since I've done the dailies. I've just been going live and playing Satisfactory. House. I admittedly thought mouse, but like we're not looking for rhyming words. Bow. Long. Oh, okay. That's not bad at all. Wingo. Winon. Let me put in tango. Okay. So it's like so G-O-N. Wagon. There we go. Wordlebot gives an analysis of my guesses. What does this mean? House is a decent opening word and a distinctive one. Unfortunately, today was unlucky. Wrong was a solid guess and a lucky one. Okay. A do? Interesting. I didn't realize they had a fucking bot that told me how good I was at Wordle now. Now I can rate myself against other Wordle players. Awesome. Rally. Is Nadar? No. Nadir. Krill. Naked. Dally. Look at me. Easy peasy. Where's the deluxe? There's no deluxe Wordle? Or deluxe waffle? What the heck, man? I'm getting scammed. Alright, strands. Harry Styles. Buzz. Flat top. Flat top. Low taper fade. That's the thing. I haven't gotten a haircut since I was 7. I'm not going to know any of these. Okay, I see Hawk next to AUX, which is making me think Faux Hawk. But there's no F. Toehawk? Yeah. Oh, Faux Hawk. Shortcuts. Shortcuts. Pixie. Boy. You're telling me you don't go to the Great Clips and they ask what haircut you want and you say boy? Page boy. That's a haircut. Okay. Shag. Fade. Isn't shag a euphemism for sex? Am I crazy? What very stands for in the mnemonic device, Venus. Right? Am I not crazy? What does it mean to shag? Shag means to have sex. That's what I thought. I'm not stupid. You're telling me it's also a haircut? Tube in a lab. Vile. Like some mobile game purchases in-app. Come up as a situation. No clue. More than just enjoyed. Loved. Hockey goal component. The net. Disgraced energy company with... Oh, this is Enron. Overly trusting. Naive. Upset. Arise. Alright, connections. Juice. Prune. Soda. Water. Okay. Pot, fertilize, stick, water. Things you do with a plant. No? Prune, pot, water, fertilize. Okay. Sock, punch, smite, and stick. No. Bookend is like on, you know, on either side of. Oh wait, bookend, earbud, socks, skis, things that come in twos. I'm so smart. Pant could have also gone there. Punch, soda, juice, milk. Beverages, boom. Stick, blouse, pants, smite. Bugs plus starting letter. Okay. Alright. Let's go Geodude. Okay. Rattata. Dealing with a monotype, first evolution. Horsey. Okay. Golding. Okay. Seal. I always think Seal is a water ice type. Cut me some slack. Poliwrath. I'm a G. That was fucking easy shit. It has 9 long I wonder what Pokemon could have 9 long tails. I wonder what Pokemon that could be. It couldn't be 9 tails. That would be crazy. Ice type in Kanto, Dugong. Ice monotype. I was gonna say Jinx. Jinx isn't right. I'll come back to that. Psychic Steel. No, Megaarn is a fairy type. Rock Steel. Isn't that Steelix? Or is no? I think you're Steel Ground. Kanto Psychic. Psychic monotype. Monotype rock. Rampardos. Kanto rock. Graveler. Rock steel. Oh, Shieldon. That was the wrong button. Okay. Ice and steel? Okay, so it would be quad weak to fire. Ice and steel. Steel and psychic. Elastila? And then ice monotype. Ice Cube. Okay. Dude, I can't think of anything for these. Ice Steel and Psychic Steel. I actually can't think of any Pokemon that would be... I'm just gonna put Meloetta. I know it's wrong. Metagross. Duh. Iron Crown. Bronzong. I was trying to think of Bronzong. Okay, this is stupid. One least common. And then one most common. Not bad. Global. Oh god, it's been a while. This is gonna be rough. Okay. Okay. It's gonna be over here. The Philippines, I think, is over here. Okay. Country off the coast of Australia. Papua New Guinea. Okay. We're like in that area. All right. Fiji? Maybe? Warmer. Tonga? Got it. All on my own. Kirkland's signature all chocolate mix. $9.99. Okay. $14.99. Okay, $15.99. There we go. GeoGuessr. I actually have no idea. Holy shit. Nothing but road for miles. Snow peaks. It's pretty hilly. I'm gonna guess Greenland. Like right there. That wasn't bad. Northwest, so probably, yeah, this is definitely southern. Malawi? Malawi? Oh, wrong continent. All right. Okay. We're north of the equator. Mahmoud. Huh? Where did that blue sign go? Looks like a road sign up here, maybe? That doesn't help me. Ugh. We're somewhere in Asia. I'm gonna guess Thailand. Oh, Malaysia. Okay. That was rough. That was a rough one. All right, let me get this pulled up. Let me go pee, and then we'll get into what we're doing today. Oh my god, my camera again? There we go. All right, I'll be right back, chat. I got you. I have acquired a rice cake. Oh, all right, chat. Here's what we're doing today. So, in a post that I feel like I lost myself in Satisfactory a little bit. So today, what I want to do, I found this website, idrlabs.com, that has just a bunch of personality tests. So I want to take a bunch of these because I think it would be interesting to figure out, you know, how Barbie am I? What World War II general am I? You know, maybe we figure out my morality. Maybe we figure out my taste in music. Because I think I know, but what if I don't know? Millennial or Zoomer test. I gotta take that one. So this is what I want to do today. And then what I also want to do is take the 8 values political alignment test. Why? I don't know. I just think it would be funny. So I want to start by just grabbing a couple of these that look interesting. I want to do the spacebar test. Oh, let's do the needs test. Let's take... Oh, dude, let's take the Rangers test. Let's figure out if I'm a boomer. And then I feel like I gotta figure out if I'm a millennial or if I'm Gen Z. Where was that one? Okay. And then what else do we have on this? Dude, there's so many on this website. I did not think there were this many. Do light or dark? Oh, we gotta do IQ test. We'll do IQ test first. Zodiac. ADHD test. I know I'll pass that one. I gotta figure out what Wojak I am. Husband test. Is there a wife test? Can I figure out if I would make a good wife? Dependence, neurotest, zodiac, patronus, anxiety. Wife test. Oh, there it is. All right. Let's start with the speedrun IQ test. Elephant and elegant are neither similar nor opposite. Which word is most dissimilar from the other four? Tea, apple, papaya, tea. How many days does February have in a leap year? 29. That took me way too long. Ignite is the opposite of extinguish. The country is for blank its natural beauty. This doesn't feel like an IQ thing. This feels like a do you know sayings thing, but it's known. Crawling and capacity are neither similar nor opposites. What number completes this series of numbers? 194. Okay, we're subtracting 2 every time. So it'd be we're subtracting 6, so it'd be 76. Meticulous is the opposite of negligent. Which word is most dissimilar? Outgoing. How many of the 6 pairs of items listed below are exact duplicates? 1, 2, 3. A 44-year-old mother is twice as old as her daughter, so her daughter's 20. There's a 22-year age gap. It's 15, not 59, 49. This is 49. Nope, it's 39. I can do math. If the first 2 statements are true, then the final one is... Okay. All professors have a degree. Yeah, this is true. Arrange these words to create a sentence. What is the last letter of... A squirrel is a small mammal. L. Completes the series of numbers. We're subtracting 7, so it's 50. Which word is most dissimilar from the other 4? Conclave, I think. The meanings of these phrases, as you sow, you shall reap. Do not make a mountain out of a molehill. They're not similar at all. A magician invented a magical formula that can make numbers into other numbers, and he wants to try it out. If x divided by 2 plus 2, what is... Oh. 4. Conjunction, divergence have opposite meanings. Brash is the opposite of timid. Arrange these words to create a sentence. What is the last word? Those monkeys have gone nuts. One circle has a diameter of 2 centimeters. The other has a radius of 1.5. The second one. What is the smallest number here? 0.032. Devious is the opposite of forthright. Which drawing is the most different from the other 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 6, 5. It's this one. It's C. Because it's however many sides this one has, minus 1 is this one. Yeah, so it's C. So you have to add 1 to get here. 300 square meters of ultralight sand weigh 3.5 tons. How much does 60 square meters weigh? Bro, what? You divide it by 5. I never said I couldn't use a calculator. 300 divided by 60 is... Alright, so you're a fifth of the volume, so you do a fifth of the weight. 0.69 tons. What is the next number in this series? Okay, you're subtracting 22. 889. Dude, how many questions are there? Oh my god! 55 questions? What number am I on? I'm on question 27. Uncertain. A bicycle show 20 minutes. 39.75. Are the meanings of the following sentences out of sight, out of mind, ignorance is bliss? You could call those similar. How many of the 5 items are exact duplicates? 1. 2. Admonish and chide. Nope, I have no clue. If the 2 statements are true, the final one... True. Find the 2 sentences with similar meaning. I think those 2. A building required 5 piles of bricks, each weighing 3.5 tons. A ton costs 40 cents. Jesus Christ. Okay. So we needed 17.5 tons. 7. No. 17 times 40. 700. Linchpin, mainstay have a similar thing. A girl earned $110 in 40 days. What is her daily income in cents? Multiply this by 100. Divide by 40. 275. Are the meanings of the following sentences? These are similar. In a fancy restaurant, in a fancy restaurant is a rectangular container fully filled with 320 cubic meters of sugar. So 320 divided by 16. 20. What is the smallest number? 0.3. 60. Okay. How many square meters is that? Okay, so convert both of these to meters. 0.6 and 0.8. 0.48 meters. Are the meanings of the phrases one swallow does not make a summer, Rome was not built in a day? They're similar. Joe walked 24 hours over 60 days. Each minute he brought $1. How many? What? Okay, Joe. Okay. So we did, okay, so 24 hours. So we were looking for hours per day times, hours per day, 24 minutes. Which word is most dissimilar? Candid. Which drawing does not fit in? None of them. None of them fit. But I'll go B. If the first two statements are true, which word is to carpenter as manuscript is to actor? Manual. Are the meanings of this... Okay, don't judge a book by its cover. All that glitters is not gold. They're similar. What number is missing? What? What? 20 plus 15. It's not okay. It's not that. Okay. 4 and 5 makes 35. Opera, I don't care. Okay. What number is missing? 4 and 5. X into 35. 3 and 2 is 28. 9 and 80 is 10. Six workers meet at a business meeting and give each other a handshake. How many handshakes were there combined? Person 1 will shake hands 5 times. Person 2 will shake hands 4 times. That's 9. Person 3 will shake hands 3 times. That's 12. Person 4 will shake hands 2 times. 14. 15 handshakes. Find the number that doesn't fit the pattern. -1, -4. -1, -4. -1. 43. Should have been 40. Writer buys 120 pens for 420 euros. 40 pens end up not working. How much did he pay per working pen in cents? So he paid a total of 42,000 cents. 42,000 divided by 80 is 525. Which word is most dissimilar? Scratch. Tomato plant with 3 tomatoes, doubles in tomatoes on it every 4 days. So we have 4 sets of 4 days. So we start with 3. On day 4, we would have 6. On day 8, we have 12. We would have 24 tomatoes. Mike has 3 swimming trophies. Jim has 4 times as many swimming trophies as Mike. Okay. So Jim has 12. Amy has 6 more than that. Amy has 18. Abby and Carla sell crystals. Abby sold 120 crystals and Carla sold 240 crystals. God damn it. I actually need a pen and paper for this. You're making me do substitution math. Okay, so we have 120 times X plus 240 times Y equals 2400. Subtract 240Y from both sides. Oh. Hey, I got an IQ of 141. Brighter than 99.7% of the population. I told you. Streamers are not stupid. At least this one. This one isn't stupid. I'm not stupid. I'm smarter than 99.7% of the population. Average IQ of a doctor. Smarter than your doctor. How long do I do this for? Is this just cookie clicker? I think this one's just cookie clicker. I think this one's a scam. That's not a test. That's cookie clicker. This test, the hierarchy of needs test, makes use of the theories of renowned psychologist Abraham Maslow. This test is provided for educational purposes, should not be construed to constitute services or... Okay, sure, whatever. I hardly ever feel threatened with regards to my personal safety or security. I often feel stuck or unsure about my direction in life. I often feel isolated or lonely. This feels very deep for a Twitch stream. I have meaningful social connections. Sure. I often feel as if I'm not good enough. Never good enough. Always be better. I'm in the process of becoming... I'll say slightly agree. My future is stable and secure. Sure. This feels too deep for a Twitch stream. That one was a bad idea. Let's do the Power Rangers test, baby! I'm more of a doer than a thinker. Absolutely. I tend to protect others ahead of my own well-being. I would think so. Forgiveness is essential. I kind of agree. Got some moves on the dance floor? Fuck no. When I see a barrier, I always look for a creative way around it. Kind of. I have a strong sense of duty and nobility. No. I hate being underestimated, but I love proving my doubters wrong. Yup. Fuck the doubters. Fuck the haters. I like to be specific in what I say and do. Keep it there. Rarely have nightmares. Agree. When I speak, people listen. If I'm good at something, I make sure... Oh, yeah. I will only fight back if I'm heavily provoked. True. I'm not one to overthink things. True. Others have told me I inspire them to be more ambitious. I've never been told that once in my life. I lack confidence in managing people and struggle to take control of situations. Disagree. Patience is key to teaching people. Somewhat agree. I prefer to resolve conflicts through force. Nope. I'm too big. It wouldn't be a fair fight. I'm sometimes reckless in the way I pursue goals. True. Comfortable taking charge and leading when necessary. Kind of true. When life gives me a challenge, I see it as an opportunity to overcome it and become stronger. No. Never change. I don't need particular surroundings to feel at home in a new place. Wrong. Very materialistic that way. I tend to find social situations overwhelming. Glass half full perspective. Keep it in the middle. Find it hard to build the motivation to improve myself. No. Love the rush of skydiving and bungee jumping. Wouldn't know. Never been. Find it hard to not be critical of myself. True. I often find myself being sought out for advice. Do people come to me, Revels, for advice? My camera froze again? Bro. What? Environmental justice is one of my core beliefs. Real. I have a joke for... Oh, yeah. I have a joke for every occasion. I like to act on instinct rather than long thought-out plans. Depends on what it is. Often running late for my appointments. Kinda true. Good at helping people relate. Nah. When I work in a team, I naturally end up taking part. Never go into a situation that I plan. Nope, I almost never have a plan. Okay, what Power Ranger am I? I am most like the White Power Ranger. He's a powerful, skilled warrior who evolves into a natural leader as the original Green Ranger turned white. Tommy gains new powers in a distinctive white suit with black and gold accents, along with a white tiger-themed helmet symbolizing his connection to the White Tiger Zord. Naturally, I wouldn't assume it'd be anything else. With his fierce combat skills and strong moral compass, Tommy is highly respected by his teammates. Awesome. I'm also similar to the red, black, and yellow Rangers. Blue and pink, we could not be more unlike each other. The Boomer-a-meter. I've spent a significant part of my career with one employer. True. Keeping up with technological advancements has been challenging. Nope. I believe in the value of seniority. Nope. Fuck seniority. If you're stupid, get out of my way. Early on, I settled on a career that from the onset provided me... Nope. I think it is important to explore new communities rather than staying... kind of agree. I secured a stable employment the first few years. I prioritize investing in my passions, even if it borrowing money. Somewhat agree, because I won't borrow money to do it. Participate in local events and activities. Somewhat agree. Prioritize my own career development over long-term loyalty. Yeah. Wealth isn't about money. Actually, let me go back. Let me put this in the center. Wealth isn't about money. It's also about experiences and fulfillment. 100% agree. I strive to build strong relationships with my neighbors. No. I believe that loyalty to an employer is an important career value. No. Brands and products I've trusted for years. Somewhat agree. Volunteering doesn't appeal to me. Disagree. I prefer to invest in experiences rather than material possessions. Somewhat agree. Owning a home has been central to my... no. Relatives have always been my priority. I'm often checking up on my family. Disagree. I'm a piece of shit. You don't have to tell me. I often attend community meetings to stay informed. Nope. In my career, I followed my heart over what would likely have made me more money. Yes. Investing in real estate has been crucial. Nope. You've already asked me that question. Somewhat disagree. Saving for retirement. Nope. You can always make more money. Completely disagree. Work from home does lead to actually more productivity, you stupid fucking idiot. Tend to be cautious about rapid changes. Disagree. I have a diverse investment. Nope. I am not a boomer. Best compliment I could possibly get. I am 22% boomer. Let's go. That's all I needed. All right. Millennial or Zoomer? If I get millennial, it's over. If someone loses a debate by rational argument, I expect them to change their opinion. No. Deep down, people in my generation are probably lonelier. Probably. Facebook? Nope. I feel like if you hit yes for this one, it like hyperlinks you back to the boomer one. I don't think any millennial uses Facebook anymore. Calling oneself a Christian, a Muslim, etc. means that they agree with their beliefs or that they belong to these communities. Probably belongs to the communities. The Harry Potter Hogwarts houses have merit? No. My generation will have to work harder to be successful? Absolutely. My generation is... there was a lot of optimism about the future. My generation is... People in my generation expect to be able to change the nature of work and careers, so these are more of a journey and less of a grind. I guess. Hit my generation harder than others? I think so. My generation's social circles. I feel like this is a Gen Alpha question, right? Like, Gen Alpha kids don't know how to read because of COVID. I feel like for any other generation, it's hard to justify hitting yes when Gen Alpha can't read now because of COVID. My generation's social circles are more racially diverse than other generations. I would think so. Spend my money on practical, understated products more than I spend them on chasing. What does this question even mean? Like, legitimately, what does this question mean? I spend my money on understated products more than I guess no. Constantly online for sure. Let's check. Let's see if Revels is constantly online. Average screen time of 6 hours and 23 minutes. I think I would consider that constantly online. Many people in my generation spend a significant portion of their income on coffee and food. Yeah, don't most people? I'd rather collaborate with others than work by myself. No. I personally know someone who prefers to go by... Personally know somebody? I don't think so. Skinny jeans are... I'm primarily a Zoomer. I got the good answer for both of those. Let's go. Cynical and realistic about the future. Yeah. That's fair. I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised this isn't higher. But like, as someone that is born firmly within this time frame, this makes sense. 75% Zoomer makes sense. What's next? Difficult person? We'll skip it. Poo pathology test. This is the important one. I often think that interactions with other people are more trouble than they're worth. Disagree. My thoughts have a tendency to run in strange loops and dwell on weird themes. And I wish I could get rid of this. I will have to say slightly agree, because this does happen, but I don't wish I could get rid of it. I think it's what makes me so much fun. When I'm alone, I sometimes feel as if there is something or someone watching me. No. People think I say strange things in my mind. I'm sure they talk about me behind my back. Yeah, probably. That's because I just give them so much to talk about. I am often told that I'm a correct and respected person. Oh. When I feel overwhelmed by my senses, I have to isolate myself to shut them down. Sometimes. I sometimes think I have powers that other people would not be able to understand. Yeah. Obviously. When things get too boring, I feel compelled to start adding a little color to the situation. Yeah. I call this being a shit starter, a pot stirrer, but you can call it whatever you want, I guess. When things are fine, I'm anxious that they won't last. Yeah, but I feel like that's normal. If a good thing comes my way, I don't feel happy about it. I don't feel I deserve to be happy. I don't want to put anything. Also, why is it not working? It just doesn't work? Okay. I don't know. Leave it neutral, I guess. That's really deep. I'm always worried about one thing or another. True. I feel better about making big decisions if I get others to suggest a course of action and then follow that. I'll put slightly agree. Because I don't always follow what someone says, but it does make me feel better talking to other people about decisions. Can't say I ever fantasize that someone will just hurt me. I always make sure that my work is well planned and structured. Nope. People sometimes tell me I give unrelated answers to their questions. True. Sarcasm and tone of voice are often lost on me. Not true. Talk more and think faster than others. Real. Frequently have problems staying with it. Yep. I am quick to act on a whim, thinking little about the negative consequences of my actions. Kinda true. I take things too literally, so that I often miss the intention behind what people are trying to say. Nope. My thoughts jump from topic to topic. Real. I don't feel that things are under control unless I am in charge. A little bit of a control freak. I take care to spend my money wisely so I can handle an unforeseen situation. I have been sad most of my life. When I start feeling down, it's as if I keep sinking until I've hit rock bottom. Jesus, no. Constantly daydreaming? Yes. Frequently lose things? Yup. Seem to have so much energy it can sometimes be exhausting or annoying to others. I feel like that's true. I'm undersensitive to social cues. I don't think so. I'm almost never happy and can't really think of anything. No. The thought of having no one in my corner to look out for me makes me seriously afraid. Slightly agree. I finish my work and chores before tending to hobbies. No. Some people smile at me in the street and I don't really know why. No. People do not smile at me in the street. I'm Pooh! The This is a banger chart. I'm 93% like Pooh, who has ADD, and I'm 90% like Tigger, who has ADHD. 57% Piglet, which is anxiety. 50% Christopher Robin, which is schizophrenia. And 47% Rue, which is autism. Okay. I think since they've made this test, like ADD and ADHD are considered the same thing now. But Pooh easily gets lost in his own world, loses track of what he's doing. He has a short attention span and obsessive fixations like honey. His attempts to get what he wants are impulsive and poorly thought out. When he gets a hold of something that he wants, he keeps stimulating himself to the point of oversaturation. He is distractible, forgetful, and disorganized. He is inattentive and loses things. Interesting. We'll skip the love styles one. We'll skip the capacity to love. The Kinsey scale test. To whom am I attracted? Only people of the opposite sex from mine. Who have you had sex with? Only people of the opposite sex from mine. Who have I had? Only people of the opposite sex from mine. Strong emotional bonds, both men and women, I guess. How do you feel most, probably mostly people, both men and women. The idea of having sex with someone from the opposite sex, with someone of the opposite sex is desirable. Same sex is negative. Exclusively heterosexual. This is a shocker to all of us. And by all of us, I mean none of us. All right, light and dark. Let's see if I'm evil or if I'm good. Generally speaking, I'd rather buy myself a little something extra than donate to charity. Keep it neutral. Often think people should be more considerate before they say and do things that may be offensive. Completely agree. There is probably something wrong with people who take the time to help out others without... Okay, so if you help something... Okay, no, I disagree. Caring about the morality of your actions is for losers. Slightly disagree. I am cynical. Keep it neutral. I donate to charity and for help the homeless. Okay. I avoid direct conflict with people who may be useful to me in the future. Avoid direct slightly disagree. I often have tender, concerned feelings for people. Yeah. If I see someone going through a difficult time, I try to be there. Yeah. I do what I want and do not feel particularly obliged to anyone. Disagree. I look down on people who unwisely share their secrets. Disagree. Others should pay special attention to me. Agree. I'm a Twitch streamer. Helping others out by doing good deeds is its own reward. I agree. I think I genuinely believe that. I think helping someone out with the expectation of getting something back is wrong. Keep track of sensitive information? No. I manipulate others? No. Callous or insensitive? No. I often think people should be more being kind-hearted and respect. Yeah. I'm good at mirroring the feelings of others. Yeah. Can tell when others are sad. Slightly agree. Soft-hearted. I like to think so. I'm not as upset as others. Slightly agree. I am especially motivated towards making friends with you. I feel that I am more special than others. I use insincere flattery. No. People I am with have a strong influence on my mood. Yup. Most people are lazy. No. When others feel sad, I am there for them right in the midst of their sadness. Try to be. I am better than others. Yes. I instinctively tune into other people's feelings. Kind of. Want others to admire me. Yes. My heart goes out to those who are unhappy. Yes. I'm a kind-hearted person who is almost always intent on cooperation. Kind of. Often help others without expecting anything. I prioritize being there for others. Yes. I'm 20% lighter than the average person. Actually, I did want to do the autism one. Let's do the 3-minute autism. $50 questions. Okay. Oh, the tab closed itself on accident. Oh. Okay. The wholesome partner test. Am I a toxic or wholesome partner? I take most setbacks in my life personally. Bit neutral. I am not always as reliable as others. I would somewhat disagree. I am mindful of my boundaries and the limitations. I would slightly agree. Deep down, I feel I am unconsciously fighting the way the world works because I want things to be other than they are. Slightly agree. Disagree. Relationships are not a battle of wills. I am consistent with regard to my words, thoughts, and actions. I like to think so. I've also been confused with conducting discussions with my partner like a court proceeding. I don't think so. I am realistic about the fact that relationships need to thrive. Yeah. I'm someone who keeps in mind that perfection is not always attainable. Somewhat agree. Afraid to ask partner for help. Try to understand my own reactions before blaming others. I believe that when you find your soulmate, the relationship should click and shouldn't require... I somewhat agree. I think deep conversations and work are always important, but there should be probably less of it, right? Naturally. That's what I think. Keep people at a distance by No. I know that when others voice reservations about something I did, it's because I was really too formidable. This is saying I know when others are upset with what I say, it's because I'm too awesome and cool and swag for them. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty awesome, cool, and swag. Definitely make it a point to keep in touch. We live in the same house. Try to be mindful, not volunteering for something. I kind of agree. Realize that my earnest criticism of me coming from my partner is a valuable opportunity. I 100% agree. Tolerant of the fact that people make mistakes without meaning to hurt me. Yep. Yep. When others disagree with me, dude, there's like a booger in my nose and it's super uncomfortable. When others disagree, I try to offer alternative viewpoints. I'm going to put slightly agree because I offer all their viewpoints, but it's with the goal of changing their mind. I have used silent or non-responsiveness as a weapon. No. When asked, I try to give an indication of genuine feelings instead of trying to please. Slightly agree. Really admit to my partner that the problem stems from me. Yeah. I trust that my partner will listen to my vulnerabilities. Always. Even tempered. Keep it neutral. I am somebody who apologizes and slightly agree. I mistrust my partner's motivation to help me. No. Punish people that have wronged me by ignoring them? No. I don't like compromise. Disagree. Compromise is great. Dude. Compromise. I try to understand my partner's unstated needs. I agree. Put a lot of effort into making my partner feel seen and understood. Yep. Try to be realistic and considerate concerning the extent to which my partner can change. Yeah. When overwhelmed, ask my partner for a timeout. Try to align my opinions with those of my partner and vice versa. I feel uneasy when there is a disagreement in my relationship. Somewhat agree. I use white lies to minimize adverse actions. No. I'm realistic about life. I don't expect exuberantly happy all the time. Yeah. If I make a point of expressing gratitude when my partner does something, yeah. Other people need time to cool off. I agree. I do a lot to try and comfort my partner. Yeah, I would think so. Maxed out. I've maxed out the communication and empathy fucking sliders, dude. I'm really good at communicating. I'm really good at empathizing. I know this about myself. Give me 1 second, chat. Okay. Next, we gotta figure out which Wojak I am. This is very important. This will change how I think of myself. I want a partner who is a strong protector and a stable provider. I'm gonna put this in the middle because I think it should be balanced. Women. Many of my romantic partners have thought that they could fix me. Ever thought that you could fix me? Okay, thank you. Okay, so she said I'm too, okay, so my one romantic partner said I was too broken, so I guess that's a strongly disagree. It feels like I'm always going through a dark period. No. I prefer sticking to mainstream news sources. Fuck no. I will never give up on my dreams. Real shit. I put a lot of effort into making my home a welcoming and orderly place. Slightly agree. Believe couples should be committed to each other for life. I disagree. Shit happens. I think a lot about the inevitability of death and the cruelty of... What the... How does this relate to which Wojak I am? I want to know, if I hit strongly agree, which Wojak does this make me? Does it make me this guy? I will never settle for mediocrity. Real. Throwing a barbecue with friends is one of my favorite activities. Going to barbecues. I don't want to make the food. I have often been called a conspiracy theorist. Somewhat agree. An avid reader. Reading. Yuck. I struggle to overcome setbacks. Oh wait, I hit the wrong one. I work hard to achieve my goals and don't let others sway me. Real. I get excited about things like board games. Yes. I have opinions that would frighten most people. Somewhat agree. I often doubt myself. Real. It's important to be respectful to others. Yes. I have resigned myself to the fact that the world is a messed up place. Yes. I can easily soothe myself. Somewhat agree. I believe the only limits are the ones you set for yourself. Real. Sitcoms and reality shows are a great way to unwind. Keep it in the middle. I'm open-minded and willing to change my own beliefs. Nope, I'm very jaded. It seems like most people I interact with are dismissive, apathetic, or downright cruel. Disagree. I follow current trends and recommendations. They often point me in the directions of things I will enjoy. Somewhat agree. People think my views are offensive. I can see that. I'm usually cheerful and in a good mood. Yeah, I'd say so. I have to compare myself to others, which makes me feel inadequate. My research has unearthed startling conclusions about a major world topic that would startle most people. No. I strive to embody... Yeah. I'm a yes dude. The website confirmed I'm a Chad. Let's go. Let's go, dude. I'm a Chad. Yes. Yes. And I'm also a trad wife somehow. I feel like those two things are very different, I feel like. Am I crazy? Oh, you heard it here first, Chad. I am a Chad. Now, let's figure out which philosopher was also a Chad. The highest truths about this world are not rational or analytical, but can be grasped only through... Dude. Okay. I'm skipping this one. Not because I don't want to know what philosopher I am, but because I'm reading question 1, and I don't think I have the reading comprehension for it. But let's figure out if I would make a good husband. Yeah, I often leave dresser drawers open. And by that, I mean close out. The husband belches without apology or blows his nose at the table. I would say somewhat often, because I do say sorry when I burp, but I do also blow my nose when I'm sitting at the table. The husband doesn't call when late for dinner. Never. I'm the one that makes dinner. The husband is polite and mannerly even when alone with his wife. Hey, Lily. Am I polite and mannerly when we're alone? Okay. I should stop asking her. She said never. A good conversationalist? Yeah. Frequently compliments his wife on her looks. Always. Every day. Has a date. Compares his wife unfavorably? Never. I would never do this. I would never. I would never do that. Reads the newspaper. I don't read. Website. I don't read. But I do remember birthdays. Fails to come to the table promptly when the meal is ready. Put it in the middle. Sometimes I'm pooping. Gives his wife ample allowance or turns his paychecks over to her. I guess never. Okay, so here's the thing. I know that if I put never, that it's gonna make me seem like I wouldn't make a good husband. But I don't. But it's like, it's not because, how do I phrase this? She makes her own money, so I don't have to give her an allowance. But the answer is technically never. Snores. I never snore. Snoring is cringe. Leaves the car for his wife on days she may need it. Yeah. Publicly praises his bachelor days. No. Brings guests home for meals without warning his wife. I would never do that. Reads newspapers, books. I don't read. Stop asking me what I read. I don't. Leaves his shoes in the living room early and often, and the socks. Is courteous to his wife's friends. I would think so. Consults his wife's opinion on business and social affairs. Chat, I'm not going to say this one out loud because Lily is outside this room. But is a steady worker and good provider? I would think so. Helps his wife with the dishes, caring for the children, and scrubbing. Yeah. Criticizes his... Who's hitting often on this one? Who on the question of does the husband criticize his wife in public going, yeah, that happens all the time. I'm always doing that. Every time we go, we can't go out in the year 1929 without my husband openly criticizing me. I got, in 1929, I would have been an average husband. Dude, it's the fucking allowance one, I'm telling you. If I would have put often on the allowance one, I would have been at 100. But I don't have to. The answer was never. Sorry for being truthful. So let's figure out that if in 1929 I would have made a good wife. Is suspicious? I would never be suspicious. Doesn't like children? Often. Personally puts the children to bed. I wouldn't do that because I wouldn't have a kid. Never goes to bed angry? Always. I'd never go to bed angry. Wears soiled or ragged dresses and aprons? Somewhat often. Is religious? Nope. Puts her cold feet on the husband at night to warm them? Yeah, I would do this. Is a backseat driver? Kinda. Is a good hostess? Always. Flirts with other men at parties or in restaurants? I would never do this. Has a good sense of humor, is jolly and gay? Yes. Often has crooked seams in her hose? What does this question mean? Neutral? Dresses for breakfast? Fuck no. Can play a musical instrument? Nope. Fails to set on buttons or darn socks regularly? What does it mean to darn socks? Oh, stitch up? Yeah, I would never stitch up a sock. Is a neat house cleaner? Is slow coming to bed? Yes. By like several hours, yes. Can carry an interesting conversation, often. Often late for appointments, kind of. Wears red nail polish. I would rock some red nail polish. Asks husband's opinion regarding important decisions and purchases. Always. Let the husband sleep late on Sundays and holidays. Yes. Going to bed with curlers or with lots of face cream. Does this make me a good wife or a bad wife? If I go to bed with curlers in my hair, am I a good wife or a bad wife? Because to expand the question further, the answer would be kind of often because I plop my hair after I shower. So like sometimes I go to sleep with my hair up, so we'll just put it there, I guess. As meals ready on time, kind of. I would have been a failure as a wife? What? What? I would, in 1929, I would have failed as a wife. Is that because I said I hated kids? That has to be it, right? There's no way. There's no way that if I was a wife in 1929, that I would be letting my husband sleep in on Sundays, asking for his opinion on any purchase I make, always making sure that the dinner is ready. But just because I don't want a kid, I'm a failure as a wife. There's no way. I refuse to believe this test. Failure as a wife? Damn. That's crazy to me. I didn't even open this test. This is wild. I would have made a bad wife. Alrighty. My music taste test. Cultural tastes have been tied to social status. Okay. Rascal Flatts. No clue. Next. Johnny Cash. No opinion. Sugarland. No opinion. Limp Bizkit. No opinion. Okay. This is maybe a bad test for me. Coldplay. I've heard one Coldplay song and I liked it. Don't know who you are. Justin Bieber. Meh. Lanyard Skinyard. No clue who that is. Kiss. Meh. Flo Rida. Meh. This picture looks like AI. This looks like an AI picture of Flo Rida. Nickelback. Banger. Katy Perry. Meh. One Direction. Ja Rule. No clue. Tupac. Dude, Tupac's awesome. Pink Floyd. Yeah, I've heard a little bit of Pink Floyd. U2. Don't know. Foo Fighters. Bob Dylan. AC/DC. Willie Nelson. Sean Combs. I feel like I have to do that one. Red Hot Chili Peppers. No clue. Adele. Lauryn Hill. Britney Spears. Insane Clown Posse. Pharrell Williams. Bangers. Rolling Stones. Kid Rock. Beyonce. Kendrick Lamar. Banger. Your taste in music is 33.3 high class, split between narrow and broad, which indicates average social status. Interesting. I have an average social status based on the music that I like. That one was quick. That one was a speed run. I think what I'm learning is I haven't listened to enough music. I think that's what I just learned about myself. But finally, chat, this is the one that I was the most excited for. The 8 values political alignment test. There's a series of statements. For each one, click the button with your opinion. Got it. All right. 70 questions. It's time to lock the fuck in. Oppression by corporations is more of a concern. Actually, wait. You know what we should do first? pilled test. I want to take the pilled test first. Hang on. We got to back up. Feminism test, obviously, I have to take. And then the left or right test. All right. Doesn't this also... Yeah, we'll just do these three. Trust in the power of the individual more than the power of the collective? No. I'm optimistic that we can... Yeah. The world isn't perfect, but it's better to focus on good things. Nope. I believe that most people are blind to what's really going on. Yeah. Truth can be uncomfortable, but it's better. Yeah. Government should interfere as little as possible in our lives. No. I believe protecting the environment should be a top priority. Yeah. I prioritize my own financial independence because it's the key to freedom. Fuck no. I've lost hope that things will ever improve in my lifetime. I prioritize logical reasoning over emotions. Leave it neutral. I believe that things will improve if we all work together. I'm going to believe, yeah. There's no point in trying to change things. The system is too corrupt. Conventional wisdom and societal norms exist for a reason. They usually guide us in the right direction. The fuck? No. That's such a dumbass question. I've come to see the world for what it really is, even if it's not what I wanted to believe. I'll leave it neutral. Sustainable practices should be integrated into every aspect of society, 100%. Focused on achieving success and securing my own future no matter what it takes. Disagree. Reject all labels and ideologies. I prefer to think for myself without bias. Disagree. Agree. So neutral. Believe that self-reliance and independence are the highest virtues. No. It's important to stay positive and not get too caught up in conspiracy theories or radical ideas. It's important to question everything and not just accept things at face value. Someone agree. Better to accept the harsh realities of life than to live in delusion. The more you know, the more you realize how bad things really are. Yeah. Believe in the power of inspired action to make the world a better place. Financial success. I don't believe in following any belief system or ideology. See the good in people and believe that change is possible. Change is always possible. Collective action and community efforts. Yep. I rejected mainstream narratives. I feel a deep responsibility to reduce my personal carbon footprint. Even though things look bad, I believe there's always a way forward. I'm not swayed by popular opinion. Research it. Environmental preservation should take precedence over economic growth. Yes, always. People should be free to make their own choices. Yeah. Well, okay, somewhat agree. I value personal freedom above all else and believe in living life on my own terms. Yeah. Despite the challenges, choose to focus on hope and positivity. Material wealth and success are... Nope. The authorities are mostly working on our... What? Who in 2024 believes this? There's no way, right? Human nature is fundamentally flawed. Actually, strongly. I approach each situation with an open mind, freeform, preconceived. Yeah. I'm green-pilled and I'm what? What? I'm green-pilled as fuck, though. And I'm fairly black-pilled. Alright. I'd rather listen to classical music than country music. I'm better at improvising. I'd rather live in a big city. Or countryside. Or... Dude, I don't fucking know. Most people would say that I am more... eccentric. What describes you better? I am open-minded. No, I'm not. That was a lie. I do what is right. What's more important? Doing what you know is right, experimenting with potential, being creative. What lesson is more important for your children to learn? Tolerance. Well, philosophical discussions are boring. Science class, it would bother me to see a human hand preserved in a jar. No. I'd rather have a motorcycle than a minivan. You're shopping for carrots and your grocer offers you some new purple ones. Fuck it, I'll try the new purple ones. If you were in charge of traffic around the street that you live on, yeah, all manner of people. I'd rather read a book about music if I had to read. Do you like arugula? I've never heard. What is arugula? What does this have to do with my political ideology? But I've never heard of it. When traveling, I prefer to, I guess, when I leave for work in the morning, the things at my place are pretty much. Yeah, sometimes I keep old tickets as memorabilia. I might be willing to try eating monkey under certain, yeah. Ideally, which do you prefer? Pursue your dreams, man. Some people are just more, no, what the fuck? I feel like if you answer this question, if you answer, some people are just more deserving than others. If you hit agree, I feel like it negates everything else you say, and it's just like, poof, far right. Hardcore left wing, baby. Let's go. I knew that shit. Now, let's answer the real question. I'm a hardcore leftist, but am I a feminist? Encouraging a culture where believe all women is a foundational belief helps to shift societal attitudes. Yeah. Anyone who is not a white man is in some sense oppressed in our society. Yeah. Men tend to be better political. No. I think historically, in like 200 years of the United States of America, I think men have had 200 years to prove that we are good political leaders. But like now we're in a situation that's like clearly false, right? If the owner of a private business wants to hire only people of a certain gender, they should. This feels like one of those questions that, like, if I just hit agree, the answer to the quiz is just no, right? Like, am I crazy? If I say that the owner of a business should reserve the right to only hire people of a certain gender if they want to, if I hit strongly agree, that it feels like what'll happen is it teleports me to the end and says you are not a feminist, and then pulls up the left-right test and puts me far right. Like, am I crazy? Allowing women into the facilities of universities has generally... Allowing women into the faculties of universities has been bad for scientific progress? No. A person can change their gender depending on their mood or the societal be gender fluid? Yeah. The gender pay gap is real? Yes. Women tend to vote for political candidates who are not well suited for the long-term survival of the country. So I'm going to do slightly disagree and not strongly, because I feel like a lot of people, man, women, or NB, will vote for political candidates who are not well suited for the long-term survival of the country, right? Like, that feels like a thing that, like, that's not an exclusively women thing, is what I'm trying to say. Gender equality has already been legally achieved, so we don't have to do more. Strongly. This whole quiz feels like a bait. This whole quiz feels like a bait. Absolutely agree. Women should be able to get an abortion without any other input. Gender roles are wholesome and just. No. Voting rights for women have been a net positive. Yes. All workplaces should be mandated to provide clear, accessible reporting mechanisms and protections. Yes. Unsolicited comments or advances from strangers, even in casual settings like a cafe, can often be considered harassment if they have a sexual undertone. Yes. Abortion is a human right. Yes. Feminism has generally been bad for society. I'm in my head. I'm laughing at A, the question, and B, I'm laughing at A, the question, and B, I'm laughing at the person that's answering. Like, okay. To the statement, feminism has been bad for every society that has embraced it. When I think of the person that hits agree on this, I think of this guy, right? Like, this seems like the type of person that would say, I agree that, like, that gender equality has been bad for society as a whole. It's just this guy. Like, this is the guy that they're trying to find. Anyways, biology or higher power have mandated that society works best when adhering to gender roles. No. There are more than two genders. Yes. The lived experiences of people with multiple marginalized identities must be prioritized in discussions. Wait. We're throwing words with more than two syllables at me. I have to read this slower. The lived, top 99.7% IQ, by the way. The lived experiences of people with multiple marginalized identity must be prioritized in discussions about gender equality. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about question 21 out of 25 on this quiz. I'm going to leave it right in the middle. Because here's my reasoning. I've read this statement multiple times. I'm reading while I'm speaking. I am now reading it again. I've read it like 5 times now. I simply cannot comprehend what the question is asking. So I feel as if it is unfair for this question to shift my results. So I feel like by leaving it directly in the middle, it will not affect the results because I don't know what this question is asking me. We're just going to go to the next one. Yep. Female business leaders tend to be too soft to really strive for success. No. The man is the natural leader. No. Very untrue in my household. I am the bitch of the house. Feminism is bad for any society. You've already asked me this question. I still disagree. Women. I am pro women. We did it. I did it. Let's go. So now that we know that, now we can take the official 8 values political alignment chart assigner thing. Let's see how lived up I am. Oppression by corporations is more of a concern than oppression by government. Okay, so being oppressed by corporations is more of a concern than being oppressed by governments. Neutral? Unsure? Both are bad? It is necessary for the government to intervene in the economy. Yes. The freer the markets, the freer the people. No. It is better to maintain a balanced budget than to ensure welfare for all citizens. No. Publicly funded research is more beneficial. Yes. Tariffs on international trade are important to encourage local production. No. Disagree. From each according to his ability to each according to his needs. I don't know what does this mean? Let me Google this. What does this mean? What does this mean? What? This passage appeared in one of Stalin's writings. It's an adaptation of Marx's most famous phrasing. Everyone will contribute to the extent that they can. Everyone will succeed according to the extent that they contribute. I don't know. It would be top 99.7% IQ, by the way. It would be best if social programs were abolished in the favor of private charity. No, that is such a bad idea. Taxes should be increased on the rich to provide for the poor. Absolutely. Inheritance is a legitimate form of wealth. No. I think once you hit 80, you should have all of your capital seized. And you should rely entirely on social funding. Just take it all. Basic utilities like roads and electricity should be publicly owned. Absolutely. Government intervention is a threat to the economy. Nope. Those with a greater ability to pay should receive better health care. No. Quality education is a right of all people. Absolutely. The means of production should belong to the workers who use them. What does this mean? How do I answer this? The means of production should belong to the workers who use them. Does this just mean... Yeah, I think I know what this means. I can't express it in words, but I'm going to strongly agree. The United Nations should be abolished. Okay, now we're back to strongly disagree. Military action by our nation is necessary to... No. Regional unions such as the European Union, yeah. It's important to maintain our national sovereignty. Google, can you define sovereignty? Okay. A united world government would be beneficial to mankind. I don't know. It is important to retain peaceful relations than to further our strength. Absolutely. Wars do not need to be justified? What? This is an actual question. Just so we're all on the same page. The question is, wars do not need to be justified. No. Military spending is a waste of money. Agree. International aid is a waste of money. Strongly disagree. My nation is great. Strongly disagree. Research should be conducted on an international scale. Strongly agree. Government should be accountable to the international community. Absolutely. Even when protesting an authoritarian government, violence is not acceptable. My religious values should be spread as much as possible. No. Our nation's value. No. It is very important to maintain law and order. Yes. The general populace makes poor decisions. Slightly disagree. Physician-assisted suicide should be legal. Agree. The sacrifice of some civil liberties is necessary to protect us from acts of terrorism. Unsure. Government surveillance is necessary in the modern world. No. The very existence of the state is a threat to our liberty. No. Regardless of political opinions, it is important to side with your country. No. I just zoned out for a second. All authority should be questioned. Unsure. Don't know what you're asking. Hierarchical state is the best. No. It is important that the government follows the majority opinion, even if it is wrong. Slightly agree. Slightly agree. The stronger the leadership, the better. Unsure what you mean by stronger. Democracy is more than a decision-making process. Agree. Environmental regulations are essential. Yes. A better world will come from automation, science, and technology. Slightly agree. I don't know if a better world comes from automation, but the other two. Children should be educated in religious and traditional values. No, traditions are of no value on their own. Agree. Religion should play a role in government. Never. Churches should be taxed the same way. Absolutely. Climate change is currently one of the greatest threats. Absolutely. It is important that we work as a united world. Yes. Society was better many years ago than it is now. I read that question backwards. This is a crazy question, right? Like, it is important that we maintain traditions. No. Yes. Reason is more important than maintaining our culture. Drug use should be legalized or decriminalized. Absolutely. Same-sex marriage should be illegal. Absolutely. No cultures are superior to others. Absolutely. Sex outside of marriage is immoral. To each their own, I guess. If we accept migrants at all, it is important that they assimilate into our culture. No. Abortion should be prohibited. No. Never. Gun ownership should be prohibited. Yes. I support single-payer universal health care. Yes. Prostitution should be illegal. No. Maintaining family values is essential. No. To chase progress at all costs is dangerous. I don't know what it means by progress. Genetic modification is a force for good even on humans. Okay, genetic modification. Like, okay, what do you mean? Bro, like, okay, what are we talking about? I want to say agree. Right? I want to say agree. We should open our borders. Absolutely. Government should be as concerned about foreigners as they are about their own citizens. Okay, what? Okay. See, this is one of those questions that's like, define concerned, right? Because that could be a very negative thing, or it could be a very positive thing. Like, if it's like, government should care for foreigners the same they care about their citizens, then yes. But if it's like concerned, I'm going to hit unsure. All people, regardless of factors like culture or sexuality, should be treated equally. Yes. It's important that we further my group's goals. Absolutely. Okay. Economically, I am a socialist. Diplomatically, I'm an internationalist. What does this mean? Is this like libertarian, like derogatory? Where's the political spectrum? Like, I want to see this on the spectrum. Political spectrum. The political compass. Okay. To question the logic of individual ones that irritate you is to miss the point. Thoughts should not be overthought, intentionally vague. Okay. English. Okay, this looks so much different. Okay, 6 pages. Okay, this shouldn't take long. Just a few propositions to start with concerning no less how you see the country and world. If economic globalization is inevitable, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. Strongly agree. I'd always support my country whether... Nope. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. Agree. Our race has many superior... What? That's wild. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Because, like, what if the enemy of your enemy is, like, Hitler? Want to be friends with Hitler? I don't want to be friends with Hitler. Military action that defies international law is sometimes... No. What? There's now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. Slightly agree. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. Agree. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. Yes. From each according to his ability to each according to his need. I don't know what this means. I've been asked this question twice. Simple terms. Free access to and distribution of goods. Okay, yes. Strongly agree. The freer the market, the freer the people. I strongly disagree with that. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. Strongly agree. Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Strongly agree. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. Yes. Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. What is protectionism? Sometimes necessary in trade. Disagree. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver it. No. The rich are too highly taxed. No. I wouldn't consider $0 too highly taxed. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. No. The government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Absolutely. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. I support restrictions on monopolies. Abortion when the woman's life is not threatened should always be illegal. Strongly disagree. All authority should be questioned. Someone agree. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Disagree. Taxpayers should not expect to prop up any theaters or museums that could not survive on a commercial basis. Strongly disagree. Those are very important. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. Okay, what does compulsory mean? Required. Wait, where'd that question go? Schools? Okay. So I guess slightly agree. Okay, so all my answers are gone. That's cool. Strongly disagree. Slightly agree. Disagree. Strongly disagree. Agree. All people have their rights, but it is better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep to their own kind. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Strongly agree. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Strongly agree. The prime function of schooling should be equip the future generation to find jobs. Strongly disagree. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. Strongly disagree. This is just eugenics, right? Like, am I crazy? This question is just eugenics. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. Disagree. That's not the most important thing for them to learn. There are no savage and civilized people. There are only different cultures. Agree. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's report. Strongly disagree. When you are troubled, it's better to not think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. Slightly agree. First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated with it. Strongly disagree. What's good for the most successful corporations is always good for all of us? No. This is the most capitalist sentence I've ever read in my life. No broadcasting institution, however independent, should receive public funding. Strongly disagree. Our civil liberties are being curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Google, can you define civil liberties? Yes. They are. They shouldn't be, but they are. Significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all arguments that delay progress. Strongly disagree. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Strongly disagree. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious. No. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed. No. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. Strongly disagree. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Strongly disagree. It is a waste of time to try and rehabilitate. Strongly disagree. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer. This is making me look very nihilist. But like, these are stupid opinions. Almost all politicians promise economic, but we should heed the warnings of climate science that growth is detrimental. Yeah. Astrology accurately explains. You cannot be moral without being religious. No. Charity is better than Social Security. No. Some people are naturally unlucky. I'm going to disagree with this. Like, what is luck? Luck is the summation of your circumstances. Circumstances are not natural. They are made by society. Yeah, disagree. It is important that my child's school instills religious values. No. Sex outside of marriage is usually immoral. See, like, this is the thing, right? Like, to each their own. For me, I would agree, but like, open marriages are a thing. Same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility. I agree they should not be excluded. Pornography should be legal, yes. What goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state, absolutely. No one can feel naturally homosexual. I completely disagree. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. I completely disagree. Let's see where I stand. Okay, I don't care about the history of it. Damn. God damn. Holy shit. Holy shit. That's awesome. Okay, unironically, I can't read cursive. I don't know who it's putting. Further left than Bernie Sanders. Further left than Nelson Mandela. Who is this guy? I feel like if I just Google that name. Okay. No. Okay. Let's analyze this, chat. More nationalist, authoritarian a party or individual, the more right-wing they're still labeled. This, of course, is absurd. Okay, what is social libertarian? Social libertarianism. Let's figure out what I am. Positive and negative freedoms. I feel like form of where things like universal basic income and universal healthcare are viewed as part of minimum function of government. What is minarchism? A minimal state or monarchy where proponents are known as anarchists. Oh, like, okay. Minarchism is minimal anarchism. Social liberalism, the idea that the government collecting taxes towards maximizing freedoms. Nothing to do with progressiveness. Social libertarians advocate for global trade, open borders, deregulation, minimal government. I feel like I answered questions wrong. Is what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is I answered some of these questions to make them think that I want a small government. Maybe I answered some of these wrong. I think smaller government is bad. But being this far left is very funny. Let's compare it to US politics on political content. Okay. Okay. I feel like this is a good representation. The Dalai Lama. Oh wait, I'm in the way. Okay, look how far left the Dalai Lama is. And then look how far left Dude, I have almost maxed out the leftist meter. That's awesome. I have learned about myself today. I am the definition of libbed up. I'm not super worried about the vertical axis because I feel like I answered questions wrong. But like, that was crazy. Like, that was kind of crazy. Realizing that I have maxed out the leftist meter for political ideology. That's crazy. So much, like, okay. Like, right? Like, Noam Chomsky. Here we go. Okay, I think that is Noam Chomsky. Oh, strong authority versus individual liberty. Yeah, that's Noam Chomsky. So, heard it here first. Revels is further left than Noam Chomsky. I want to know who that guy is. Like, Yotir Kochev? I can't find him. But I don't know. This is awesome though. I'm not gonna lie, happy with that result. That's awesome. All right, chat. Unfortunately, it is about that time. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you guys had fun. I had fun taking those. So chat, I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go make dinner because I'm a bad failure of a wife. So I guess I have to go make dinner to make it up, I guess. Good night, chat. Goodbye. I'm just a leftist failure of a wife.